Drones buzzing through the clouds, relentless. FPV, your world flying high, never touching ground, never saying goodbye. Lights flashing, beats drop low. We chase the sun, feel the flow. Wings spread wide over the city, flying high, no time for pity. Dancing with the stars tonight, zooming past the northern lights. Flying high, electric vibes. Feel the rush, we come alive. Faster, faster, can you feel the pace? We're not our faces, hearts in the race. City below, a blur of light. FPV dreams take flight tonight. Faster, faster, can you feel the pace? We're not our faces, hearts in the race. City below, a blur of light. FPV dreams take flight tonight. Dancing with the stars tonight, zooming past the northern lights. Flying high, electric vibes. Feel the rush, we come alive. Feel the power, engines roar. Up above, we crave for more. Skies a dance floor, beats are loud. Flying high, breaking from the crowd. Are they okay? Dancing with the stars tonight, zooming past the northern lights. Flying high, electric vibes. Feel the rush, we come alive. Feel the power, engines roar. Up above, we crave for more. Skies are dance floor, beats are loud. Flying high, breaking from the crowd.
If you have never run before,
All right, we're back for another awesome Tuesday edition of FPV Your World. That's right, we've got Don Joyce and we've got First Squadron also lurking behind. We're going to have a little bit of information night tonight about the Canadian regulations, do's and don'ts, and we got some trick and treat. That's right, we trick and treat, so we have both. We got some community edits, and we've also got some treats for all of you guys. We've got Polymaker giveaway. We've got a t-shirt giveaway for Halloween, sticker pack for Halloween, as well as there's a Discord giveaway right now going on under the Discord giveaway section. If you're in FPV World Discord, scroll on down there. There's a Polymaker giveaway just for the Discord, as well as Polymaker giveaway for the live stream, all the watchers on here. So stay tuned to that. But as always, let's bring in our man, the host, the legend, Mr. Danzilla.
Hello, everyone. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. Good to have you back.
Good to see you.
Gravity isn't a thing. What do you got going on this week?
Well, gravity is a thing this week because it's been joining my arse to my desk chair here. It's been a hell week of work with kind of a few shitty clients, some great ones, but some pain in the asses. soured the whole thing. But yeah, I've been working some stupid hours.
That's a bummer.
And yeah, I'm just tired of it now.
No doubt.
So I'm glad to be here because I can hang out with some friends and just do
Awesome.
something fun. Because right now I'm just sleeping and working. That's all I've been doing all week.
Really, no flights either, eh? I remember last time you were saying you were trying to work on an edit, but
I was gonna go out. What was it? Sunday was gonna be my day, but then there was a big client emergency, and I had to sadly discharge my batteries late in the afternoon because it was not gonna happen. That's the worst. There's nothing worse than discharging batteries the hard way.
Especially when it's a lot of them too. I did that one time. I took a whole drone out. I took a drone out camping and I had to do the same thing. And discharging big Li-ion batteries takes forever. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it sucks.
You're better off to just fly it around in your backyard or something.
Right. Yeah, just hover it. Yeah, totally. Well, hopefully you get some flights in soon, buddy. We always look forward to seeing your flights. I also haven't really been doing much for a week, so it's been tough with the rain.
Yeah, we got nothing but rain here till Saturday, and then rain again after that. So who knows?
Wow. Yeah.
Hopefully the weatherman's wrong.
Good to see everybody in the chat. We've got Fun Revolt and Captain Calgary, Amino Acid. Hope everyone's doing awesome. Free Lojo. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be a little bit of a chill stream in the beginning here. We're just going to have a little bit of information session. I know a bunch of you aren't Canadian, but no, actually almost all of you are Canadian. That's probably why you're here. Thank you all for being here. Well, I guess Fun Revolt's not, and Free Lojo. But
well, I think it's good for the Americans to hear about our regulations, because since ours are so much better than the States, they can tempt them to move up here and be cool people, i.e. Canadians.
Hell yeah. We got some amazing scenery that we've been flying. So yeah, come on up.
That's right.
It's going to be awesome.
That's right.
So without further ado, let's bring in our friends here, Mr. Don Joyce and Mr. First Squadron.
Hey. Big Calgary says we're full.
We're full.
It's funny that you say about the U.S. versus Canadian. Yeah, I was flying yesterday. Sorry to jump in on this, but I was flying yesterday, and I was in a location with no cell service, and so I was flying a Mini 4 Pro, sat it down on the ground, usual stuff, was about to fly, and it came back with a remote ID error. And I thought, what in the hell is this doing on my drone?
Yeah.
It said, I don't know where you are, so I bet you're in the States.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's just tracking you.
You're automatically guilty.
Yeah.
What if the return to home? What if return to home takes it all the way over to the United States border? Because it thinks it's there, right?
Return to home. Flies it over. The White House.
Then you got double problems.
Yeah, that's a violation of drone laws, isn't it? You can't leave the U.S. Can't go across the border.
So it would hit the border and bounce off.
There you go. Yeah, the invisible wall.
That'd be cool.
Oh man, oh man. Well, let's start from the basics here, because I know a few of us maybe don't know who you are, and we like to get everyone to introduce who they are and what they do. It's also good to remind Danzilla, because he's getting old. But let's start off with Mr. First Squadron here. What you got?
I can't argue. Where
are you from?
Well, I'm First Squadron, and I run a drone film school and actual instructor training school for drone pilots, and I've been doing that for like 4 years in Nanaimo. And this year is the first year we started our the actual drone film program, which is using drones for film production. And I find that's quite exciting. And that's one of the areas I think that is the future of drones, is in either cinematic or delivery. And we're looking at more like those that want to be professional drone pilots, and in the cinematography area is what we're focusing on right now.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
And you have a great website and stuff like that. We'll post some links. If you put it in the private chat, we'll definitely share it out. I forgot to grab a bunch of links for that for today.
Sure,
but
you bet.
Danzilla is the man on that kind of stuff usually.
Yeah, you can drop them in there.
Hell yeah. All right. And
if you're a mod in the chat, you can drop it in yourself. But I don't know if you've got the blue wrench or not.
No, I didn't give them all brew inches. They haven't chatted in there. I'll grab it later. And Mr. Don Joyce.
Hey, yeah. So I kind of wear 3 hats. I have my YouTube channel called Don Drones On, where I put what I like is cinematic kind of videos, but what you guys seem to like are my videos about the Canadian regulations, the training videos about how to get your pilot certification and what the new regulations are and all that kind of stuff. So that's hat number 1. Hat number 2 is I'm the president of the Drone Pilot Association of Canada, right here. And so we have a team of a steering committee that kind of drives stuff, and I think we're up around 4,000 members, official members, and almost 9,000 on our Facebook group. So very friendly team, basically a community of recreational and small commercial drone pilots forming the association.
I believe all 4 of us are on that panel, right?
Yep.
So that's awesome.
And then my 3rd hat is co-creator of the Drone Pilot Canada app, which is a fantastic app built by Canadians for Canadian drone pilots that helps you fly legally. It takes care of all the I'll say the bureaucratic elements of flying, while still allowing you to do it safely, legally, and easily. So those are my 3 hats.
Awesome.
There's a link in the YouTube chat there for Don Drones On.
Thank you.
If you're interested. If you need to learn about getting certified in Canada, that's the place to go.
All right.
Thought I had it.
All the rules and regulations.
Marcel's trying to figure out what that means now.
Nope. Yeah, I was just trying to grab another link, but let Dan do it.
Oh, there's rules?
Yeah,
What do you need a
so
link
regulations and stuff. So we were talking recently, I guess almost maybe a few months ago now, because Dan Zilla and I, a bunch of us, we kind of got together and finally got our basics. And I think Falconrad ended up getting his advanced as well too. So we were kind of all talking together and trying to advance, not just, being a more official, but just when you're out flying long range and stuff like that, it's good to have a little bit of certification to say, okay, we're not just some average schmo with a drone, because that's happening a lot lately. We've been finding out here where I'm at in British Columbia, we've been having a lot of random people with drones, and I know it's everywhere, but here it's even more popular because they see Falconrad's videos. They actually start approaching him, and he's getting like, wow, like these people like know me from my YouTube videos. So that's a big thing. People don't realize, like, even the average schmo, even anybody in the chat could be a YouTube famous person, because people are just so addicted to watching YouTube and videos and stuff. So everyone's famous on YouTube. So you got to watch.
Wants to do the cool stuff.
Yeah. So just be careful. I mean, we try to like not hide, but like try not to tell everybody exact locations of where we're flying sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to like, because it can get crazy. It's getting really, 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 really busy with drones. It always has been, but it's getting crazy. It's great to have everybody in here. Sky Shine Adventures, welcome in.
Hey, good to see you.
But yeah, like Spider-Man, Ben said to Spider-Man or whatever, it's like with great power comes great responsibility. So we've had some crazy content in here with some videos of, people surfing the clouds and stuff, obviously illegal. So just we're going to talk about, the do's and don'ts. I mean, there's a lot of people that can fly above their limits and stuff, and it's not good.
Be careful. You have to be careful,
because it's very easy to break the rules.
Not only is something bad going to happen if you're not careful, and I'm not talking about careful making sure you keep your flight logs and stuff, but just careful that you don't hurt somebody or heaven forbid anything worse than hurting somebody. Totally. But because as soon as that happens, the rules that we already think are too crazy will just
They're already going to get worse.
Yeah.
Totally. Speaking of rules, you've been fighting on the panels and going to meetings and stuff like that a bunch for all the regulations. I don't know if First Squadron you've been doing the same in our area at all, but
I just make comments.
No comments,
at the moment,
right.
Well, there's so much that, the regulations. We also have to protect, the future of this technology, right? And
of the hobby, yeah.
And to me, it's more. There's more at stake than a lot of people are thinking about, because our right to convey, our right to travel, right? Is that limited if it's in the air? I don't think so. Like under the charter, right? And if the corporations control the delivery, like if you want to get a milk when the cars are no longer, horses became cars, right? Now we're in the next, like trains. Horses became trains, and before we used to canoe everything around, and drones are the next transportation system. And if we're not careful, you and I will not be able to transport milk. We won't have the right to convey or trade or travel, and I think that's pretty important consideration. Okay. Which is why I think we need to professionalize, to have a professional level of drone pilots who perform professional services, and that those are the ones that need to protect the industry, like airline pilots protect, the piloting industry and the aviation industry, right?
Yeah, they're trying to even in this next round of regulations. There's this notion of commercial air services, and you have to abide by the rules for manned aircraft if you're flying commercially in some weird way that makes no sense. So that's kind of the hint. It's the sharp end of the wedge that you're talking about right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I think we should have a private license for people that privately convey their own goods. Again, I think it's important, because if you think about it, at some point you're not going to be able to get supplies that you need to exist, right? And whoever controls that trade route, they've got you on your knees, right? So again, right, as a
my kayak.
I think too that
we may have to go back to that kind of system, right?
I think too they need to strike a balance though too, to make it has to be accessible for hobbyists as well. It can't be all just professionals and commercial interests that get to run the show, right? And I think that's one of the big dangers, is that as hobbyists, it's we're going to get so crunched that the only people that are going to be allowed to fly are the Amazon delivery service, because they're just going to own the air. That kind of thing.
And that's what a lot of the regulations are about too, right? They're about BVLOS, right? Delivery, autonomous delivery.
Yep.
And again, that's why I think it's we need to be cognitive of what's going on.
Yeah, this whole new the next tier of stuff that's coming out is, like you said, it's BVLOS in one direction, and larger drones, the medium, what they call medium RPAS, between 25 kilograms and 150 kilograms in the other dimension. So these things are becoming not specialty items anymore, driven and controlled under special flight operation certificates, but under just regular regulations. So, and they're tough to achieve the requirements.
Yeah, I mean, 150 kilograms, that's over 300 pounds. If that hits you, you're going to feel it.
You're going to feel it. It's like a flying motorcycle. If you imagine that zipping over your head.
Yeah, or 4 flying chainsaws. Right.
There's a question for Don in the chat there.
Oh,
do you think Transport Canada is entertaining any recreational restrictions like the US's FRIA zones?
I don't hear anything like that, and I'm talking with the Transport Canada RPAS team every 3 months, and often in between as well, and there's no hint of anything like that. But mostly because our friendly Transport Canada guys have a tough time moving anything forward, let alone anything huge like the whole FRIA stuff and stuff. Right. it's astonishing how little they can accomplish. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I know some of the guys that are doing it are trying really hard, but the simple things just take like years. So,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's the government, right? That's the age-old problem with government. It moves at a snail's pace. It's a committee run by a committee.
That's right. Governed by a committee that has its own rules.
Yeah.
Owned by a committee.
That gets elected out. That gets elected out every 4 years.
There you go.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool. Well, but I kind of wanted to also bring up is the RPAS Visual Observer course that you've got going on. It's something that I've been looking forward to getting into. I know last time you were here, I was like, I'm going to get in on that. But I never obviously jumped on the bullet yet. Why don't you give us a little rundown on exactly what that is, how easy it is to get, and all that good stuff, being a free course and everything.
Yeah, well,
super solid.
And you know, one of the things that that's interesting is that when you take on a visual observer as a pilot, you again, it goes to regulations. You're responsible for your entire crew. It's it's typical officer responsibilities. You're responsible for your crew, your equipment, and the code, right, that you're operating under. So you'd be under Transportation Canada code, and there's a lot of code that is that's wrapped around visual observers' responsibilities. And so you think, hey, that night before you say, hey, Bob, you want to come out and be my visual observer? They have a lot of legal responsibilities. They're actually legally a member of a flight crew under 901.21. They have to follow the pilot's instructions, or it's every instance it's like $5,000 in fines. So as a pilot, you have a responsibility to make sure that your entire crew is trained and certified for every duty that they're going to be performing. So I kind of felt that at least as a pilot, with that responsibility, that you have to have some way of showing, hey, my crew is trained as visual observers. They know the code and they understand the responsibilities. So in my course, I actually have my students pair up, right? So one will be the visual observer, and and then what we do is we'll teach them how to lead a drone around it, because one of the criteria for passing your flight review is you have to go around an obstacle. So what I do is I'll use those stalker goalposts. I'll have the pilot turn around, and the visual observer will lead them through the goalpost and then back through again. And we do a few exercises like that. And it's not really all that complicated. It's about as advanced as like becoming a flagman. But as a flagman, you kind of have to know the traffic laws and the proper way of leading people through, the process. So again, the first part is just the law and regulations. So we got a few videos. You watch those. You go through. You read the regulations, and then we do some actual in-field training. Now, if you do the online course, which is free, the criteria is that the pilot that sends you, so you can say if you're a pilot and you want to make sure your VOs are certified, just send them to our website, then get their certificate. And that way, if anything goes wrong, which again, that VO will know at least what the regulations say they're supposed to do, and then you know that they've actually certified and take the course, so you can prove that, hey, my crew was certified, and that kind of that takes care of the regulation requirements, which there really isn't anything right now, unless of course they got their their own pilot, unless they got their basic or their advanced exams done, right? Yeah. But I think even in the new regulations, they're talking about like even for some levels where you have to be an advanced pilot to be a visual observer. So
for certain
all the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the other part is what I do is I'll give you a certificate if you pass the legal, the law part, the written part. And then what I do is I have your pilot certify after you've done a couple missions and they feel that you're competent to be a visual observer. And then that way it's certified by the pilot, which is what the regulations call for anyways, right? Your pilot has to ensure that all crew members are trained in what's involved in the operation for that day, right? So, and it's just part of your officer. Like again, an officer is responsible for those three things, right? The men, the equipment, and the code, right? And so I look at it from that way. So you do have that responsibility to your men, right? That they know what they're doing and they're trained to do it. Right? So again, it's free. Doesn't take that long. You can do it the night before. So, and then you know what your responsibilities are. That's the most important thing, right? So, yeah.
And then you can't get in trouble from the man.
Hey, Kevin, I don't know whether you know this, but there is a list of responsibilities that's in the Drone Pilot Canada app for visual observers. Have you checked against that to see if there's anything I should change, either add, delete, or update?
I'll take a look. I'll take a look at it. Yeah.
Great.
For sure.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Would love to hear it.
That's great.
Yeah, it'd be good if we were in sync on that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, and the exam's like 25 questions, so there's a little bit of stuff there, right? But
Cool.
But again, if you're a pilot and you're working with somebody, it's a good way. Hey, just take this thing and you're covered, right?
Yeah.
And
if you look at like the accidents have actually happened in Canada, like the Canmore Airport, right? The visual observer didn't know what they were doing, right? Like it's it seems like every single incident is like, well, the visual observer didn't know what they're doing, right? So
the Buttonville case is classic in Toronto, where the police.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was talking about.
He flew into a Cessna. Well, he didn't fly into the Cessna.
That was so embarrassing.
Thrown in the way.
It was so embarrassing as a Canadian.
It is. It's very embarrassing. And
like 90% of the drone accidents in Canada have been due to the cops. Their drones.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, there's only been
huge percentage of the accidents in Canada.
One other one.
Man, oh man.
And they're the guys that get the hard time.
They get to have the biggest drones, and they're not following not only were they not following Transport Canada regulations in the case of Buttonville, but they weren't following their own directives and procedures and stuff, including the visual observer stuff that you mentioned.
Of course.
I sometimes wonder if that cop knows he's one of our anti-heroes. We think of him as the worst.
I would really love to meet the guy and have a chat and see what's going on in his land.
Did he move? Is he known?
I don't think they know. I really don't think that. I really do think there's this is information that you need to be trained at some level. It does involve some training. Either if it's a mentor, somebody has to know what they're doing and then convey that to. There's a lot of things for operations that people don't know, right? You have a lot of operational responsibility. There should be somebody who's in charge of the drone program and the maintenance and all that. That's a whole other area, which I call we've got the VO, but I also call that the XO, right? The executive officer, who's responsible for the pilots. So they have to make sure that, again, the VOs are trained, that the pilots are trained in the operations they're doing. Transport Canada expects somebody, and this is part of the new regulations coming out, that there has to be an XO. Right. But I developed an Excel course about a year ago because I realized that in TP 15263, there is no, real content about being, the XO, the person who's in charge of the drone program. And a lot of people don't realize that they have to have somebody in that designated spot.
If you have an organization that is.
But even if you're one person, then you're the XO. So there has to be somebody.
It's chief cook and bottle washer all in one, of course.
Interesting.
In the new regulation, they do have the notion of a larger organization with a certificate, and like you said, they've got procedures, they've got rules for different types of parts of the operation.
That's another thing is that everything, the whole aviation system. It's just procedures, right? If you want to fly near an airport, right? You actually contact them and you say to them, "I'm a drone pilot. What are your procedures?" And everything is procedures, and you're supposed to have your procedures to give them when they give you your procedures. They'll say, "What is your procedure for a flyaway?" Which again, you have to have all those procedures. Which is another thing a lot of people don't realize, that they have to carry procedures with them. And I actually designed.
That's what being a pilot is all about. A pilot is all about their binders, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen movies? There's always binders and stuff involved.
Yeah,
that's the
this,
truth.
right?
You get into a you can get into a 747 and go, okay, what's the pre-takeoff checklist?
Exactly.
Like, even me, I know nothing about it, but I could pull out the binder and do the pre-flight checklist because it's all
exactly
the same shit.
It's like how to land a plane. It's there. There's a binder.
I've got all in Drone Pilot Canada. So
there you go.
Like, this is my procedures for a flight review, and
there you go.
I've got everything like listed on here. What you have to do for a flight review, right? I don't know if there's anybody's personal information. I can't show that, but so like these are the 8 things you have to do. You have to, or sorry, this side here, you have to do a takeoff, a landing, go around. Transportation Canada actually asks us, did that person take off? You go, yes, they took off, right? Like you go through all these 8 things, right? But what I do is I've broken it down into procedures. So this is your site survey, right? You do all this stuff. This is the before you get out there, right? You check your weather. And then number 2 here, right? You do your plan and briefing, right? Like we're going to be flying over there, take a picture of that tree and come back, right? And then here is your pre-flight check where you go over your systems, right? Your props, your motors, and then the flight skills, like during the flight portion, which is you have to maintain visual line of sight. Again, like everything I put down, I've got everything on one form. This is your emergency procedures on one page, right? So there's a flyaway, and you have to so everything's on one card, right? And then I just use dry erase on this,
right?
And then what I do
is that a Transport Canada approved font?
Well, the thing is that this is set up so that that actually everything that you legally have to do as far as having procedures, it's all on one page, right? Because I'll get people that come over for a flight review and they got 30 pages and they're flipping through them like, oh, what's my procedure? Like, like you need to get that information fast, right? Idea.
Sure.
And if I say, like, if we're doing a flight review and I say to you, I say, okay, you have a flyaway, right? Like, I'm not asking you, like, what would you do during a flyaway? What I'm asking you is, do you have procedures for a flyaway and what are they? Yeah. And then they should go to their form and they'll say, okay, flyaway here. Okay, just, they go to the list, the procedures. And then once I know that they're doing the procedures, then it's the same thing. Like if you're in a 747, your engine blows out, you go get the procedure, you go to page 4,242 to read what to do. Yeah. And then you go through that checklist with your co-pilot. And that's what Transport Canada wants. They want to make sure that you know your procedures, you have them, and that you'll follow them when emergency happens, right? And that's part of the flight
where to find them,
right? So again, so I put my students on this on these procedures, but your responsibility is to have, again, your XO, right? The person in charge of your operations. They're responsible for all the procedures in your operation, right? So it's intrinsic through the whole system, right? So crazy.
I don't know if I want to be an XO.
Yeah, they'll come for you, right? If something happens,
totally.
Right? Because you're the point guy,
right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, Don. I think you're my XO.
Yeah,
Don's everyone's XO.
He's the XO of record for all of Canada.
Yeah.
Don't blame me for your mistakes.
So you've also developed something really amazing. You've got your handy little dandy app that you have for your drone association.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
That's a link.
So the Drone Pilot Canada app, I'll just quickly show it.
I have it on my phone.
I don't know whether it's anything that's going to show up there. There we go. PC. Hey, you can see where I live right there.
I was going to say, now we know.
Yeah.
Long.
That's what my background picture is too, is where I live. But so what Drone Pilot Canada does, the inspiration for it, which was in January of 2019, actually, was to take all of these rules, all of these procedures and checklists and stuff that you needed that Transport Canada expected you to have. And I could see that nobody was ever going to do that, honestly, maybe 10% would. So I put them all into an app because it just screamed app to me, so that when you're using the app, you say, well, where am I flying? It knows where you're flying. It's an app. So you just click a button. It'll tell you everything about the airspace that you're in. So whether it's Class G, Class C, near an airport, not near an airport, all that stuff. Are you in a Class F restricted zone? All of those weird things that we're all expected to know down to the last detail are in the app, so that you don't have to measure on a VFR chart. Am I 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers? Oh, wait, no, it's nautical miles from some obscure airport that is nowhere near you. Because the app knows where you are, it knows where the airports are, it does all the math for you, and it gives you a thumbnail print of what you need to do for the location you're flying at. And then it'll keep your flight log for you, because you're supposed to do that and keep track of any visual observers, for example, that you have on your team. It'll do that for you. You can create flight plans. If you are doing things like SFOCs, it'll do all of that stuff for you automatically in a matter of seconds. What else will it do? Pretty much everything. It'll tell you what the weather is. I mean, there's better weather apps out there, but it gives you the bare minimum in order to do that. And then if you have, different apps that you want to fly with, then that's all good. And not only that, because about 80% of recreational flyers fly DJI drones, and DJI drones have their own built-in fly-safe map that doesn't correspond with Transport Canada regulations. It has a little toggle switch on the map, so you can flip between what Transport Canada wants you to take care of and what DJI wants you to take care of. Because there are places where Transport Canada says it's okay to fly, and DJI says you can't.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah, and vice versa, of course. Yeah. So yeah, the app does all of those things. I keep it up to date every 60 days. The listing of airports gets refreshed, and on average, it's about, I'm going to say 1% roughly of the airports in Canada have some change that's relevant to drone pilots. The most common change is a phone number change for who to contact. So those are all refreshed in the app every 56 days. Occasionally, the airspace changes. Oh, it also shows you temporary no-fly zones, typically raised by NOTAMs, notice to airmen. So, if you're flying in your usual spot, but there's an air show 20 kilometers from you, you could be in a no-fly zone and be flying illegally and potentially unsafely, even though you fly there every day. So
you have no idea. Yeah, happened once. Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing you don't often hear of is like new airports. I guess you don't see too many new airports popping up on the.
Well,
the maps.
believe it or not, there are I'm going to say between 3 and 10, I'd say, new airports every 56 days. Believe it or not.
Really?
You really? Like in this next.
Are we talking just like a landing strip in somebody's backyard, or like a?
Well, yeah. So this is the thing. They're usually small, and they're the most common type of new aerodrome is a helipad. Like there's a new hospital, they get a new helipad, or there's an existing helipad, they add another one. So in fact, there seems to be a rash of new helipads in Ontario in the last 56 days.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like people have their cottage and it's like, well, I'm tired with my boat. Why don't I get a helicopter? So, they get a heliport, and then they say, I'm not in the listing. So they pay their whatever they have to pay to get certified, and then they're on the CFS listing for helipads.
Well, I bet you can. I know around me, there's a lot of. I can never remember the word. Aerodromes, like
aerodrome is the generic term for anything. Yeah,
where they can land the seaplanes on the lakes, because I'm surrounded by lakes, as are you.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've got quite a few of those around. So I gotta keep my eyes open where I'm.
Precisely, and the scariest ones, in fact, are the water aerodromes that are not. So there's kind of a hierarchy. There's unlisted entirely. Like the guy who has a seaplane over on the other side of my lake. He is unregistered, uncertified, nothing, right? So he could just take off anytime. My only obligation as a drone pilot is to keep the hell away from him. So I keep my ears open and my eyes open, but sometimes it's they're coming in feathers.
When they're coming in low like that, they sneak up on you. All of a sudden, you hear them and they're on top of you. So
yeah.
Like I'm usually flying freestyle, so I'm usually down below the tree line, so I'm usually not a
Right,
problem.
yeah.
But I always
So,
land if I
so
hear
yeah,
him.
there's this.
I want to
this
go over and
other-
ask him if I can do a chase shot. I want to chase him one day. I
Yeah.
want to go make friends with him and say, "Can I follow you when you're taking off next time?"
Planes, not plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of
Yeah.
sketchy pilots lately with airplanes, smaller aircraft, and they kind of do the same thing. They'll come close to the pit river and they'll kind of dip their skis or whatever in and then take off.
Mhm.
And a bunch of people I know,
Mm.
they were like, they shouldn't be doing that. I think that's illegal. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm staying
No,
away from
it's
that.
it generally speaking, you know, I can't speak for that individual, but generally it is perfectly legal for a seaplane, for example, to come and do what's called a touch and go. Touch and go, is that the right?
Yeah.
Touch
Yep,
and go
yep,
sounds right.
yep, touch and go.
A touch and go landing. I mean, they have to do that. They have to train like anything else. They
Sure.
have to be
For sure.
proficient
Makes
at what
sense.
they do. And if they
Yeah.
don't,
And
you know,
technically, they're
most-
allowed to land pretty much anywhere. You know, I mean, like a seaplane, you're allowed to land on pretty much any lake. Like, there's not really
That's
any
right.
restrictions as far as I know, unless it's a restricted airspace. But
Right.
you're
Like
allowed to.
where
You're
I
allowed
live,
to fly up to the middle of nowhere and land on a lake. You know, those.
yeah, it's Class G
You
where
don't
I
even have
live.
to file a plan.
I would
Unless
love
it's
to.
in the park system, then you can't,
Yeah,
In
exactly.
parks. Yeah.
Yeah.
In parks.
because no
What are the
no
rules
landing
for?
or taking
What
off.
are the rules
from
for
park
real?
land.
What are the rules for real pilots for acrobatics? Can you go up and do loop-de-loops? I don't think you probably have to file that. Or,
I don't know.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there are people up there who don't not just flying their Cessna like from here to there. There's probably people who want to go up and have fun. You know, like how hard is it to do loop?
There are
Bush pilots.
there are designated places for that, but I don't know whether you
Yeah.
have to. I don't think you have to fly in one of those. They're called the
Yeah.
CYA.
I think it's
basically
generally
class
it's like if it's
advisory.
safe enough, go for it.
Safe enough. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a whole nother world, though.
It
Drone
is.
pilots are real pilots, though. We're just
I
the
know,
new kids on the block, but
I
you
did
know
air
we are
quotes.
going to take over, right?
You had his air quotes.
I did
It
it.
won't be long before we're flying the 747s and everything else. It's coming. Yeah, the UAM, right? Urban air mobility. It's all going to be remote. So we're going to be the only pilots left pretty soon.
Yeah, all those drones and all those wings are getting so big that we're going to be doing autonomous wings and planes pretty soon as well. Just I wouldn't want to be in the back.
Down in the States, they've been working on the autonomous fighters and stuff like that. They've got an AI, like Eagle or something like that they're testing currently. Can you imagine flying missions by itself?
Frightening.
That's all we need.
With
is
that
a
kind of
Boston
power?
Dynamics plane.
I was gonna say that kind of power, like in the hands of a dumb robot.
Yeah.
Sounds like Skynet.
It does.
Totally.
It's coming.
Totally. So I don't know if anybody else in the chat or on the panel has jumped on to the DJI Neo drone. Something we wanted to bring up here. It's something that is kind of
somebody got one.
famous for all the newbies.
John Joyce got a new toy.
I got a new toy.
Let's play
There's
this
nothing better
real
than new
quick
toys.
here. Whoops.
Well, there's
two with my DJI.
You know what I mean.
Hi, I'm Don from Don Drones On. Well, it's time for flight number 2 with my DJI Neo, brand new, less than a couple of hours out of the box. I've got my goggles on, goggles 3, the remote controller from my Avata 2. I've done all the pairing and stuff. It was a little tricky. You have to connect up the through the DJI Fly app. I think it'll probably be easier the second time. And of course, it's very appropriate that I have my Neo sitting on top of the Avata as a launch pad. So, yeah. Let's go.
Didn't even laugh.
All
Oh, that thing sounds crazy.
Oh man.
Sorry about your eardrums.
Oh, it's so whiny.
That's a crazy sound.
I'll tell you that.
It's a crazy sound.
Yeah.
This is where I crash. Yeah, immediately crash it into the tripod.
Trying to go through the legs of the
Nice.
tripod, not crash into it. Take off again.
I've now made some flights where I have not crashed.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. Not very many.
Wiggle, wiggle.
I thought it's supposed to have object avoidance.
I'm not trying hard enough. Oh, over the pond. Do I dare go through the lake?
FPV drones are demolition drones, anyways.
Yeah.
You know.
You know you're a bad pilot when even object avoidance can't save you.
Holy
Oh.
Just kidding, John. Oh! I thought he was putting it in the bush there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty quick too. Where am I?
Legal requirement to waive its drone.
It's true. It's true. Whenever I land with myself in view, I always give the thumbs up. Hey, I thought that was a real crane there. Or heron.
Yeah, it's made of metal.
That's
I was
cool.
gonna say, how come that thing hasn't flown away yet? And where have you even been
That's how good drones are.
Yeah, so quiet. Very cool.
What is
so
the
what's your
flight time on this thing?
It's about 15 minutes, I think, roughly.
Oh, wow.
What? That's
Good night, Captain
insane.
Calgary.
Oh, never mind. I have 3 minutes.
All right, sir. Be good.
We're
I hope you get that promotion to major soon.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? Because I know you had a wicked video before that. Actually, I want to share it too as well. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on a
I
second.
am a comedian, you know.
Where is it? Is it this one?
Is it the walking in front of? Yeah, I think it's the update on the DPAC steering committee or something like that.
Yeah, this is the one.
think it's in the
This is
playlist.
hilarious. No, we're shooting off the hip right now. Sorry.
Oh.
On drones on.
This is
here's
the
a
intro
quick
that I thought was
on the Drone
hilarious.
Pilot Association of Canada, or DPAC, as of September the 18th. I'm kind of hesitating because I'm filming this with a DJI Neo, and it's trying its best not to be in front of me. I don't quite understand. I think this
Do the whole
software needs
intro.
a little bit of updates here.
Pretty
Now I'm
comical.
walking backwards. Why am I walking backwards? You're supposed to be flying backwards. I am gone from Association of Canada, or DPAC.
So is it supposed to? It's
As
supposed to be
of
able to do a
September the
backwards
18th,
follow, right?
2024.
Like
Yeah.
lead or
I'm
whatever
recording
they call it?
this on a DJI Neo.
It's just all
in
over
what
the
they call
place.
direction follow, which is supposed to be in front of me. That's over there, folks. Sorry, this thing is not cooperating at all. It's trying its very best to go off the road. Whoa! I am.
Anyway,
I did it
was
like
hilarious.
10 times, and it just wildly just going all over the place. Yeah.
Oh man.
Now, the one of the things about the Neo is that it's basically a copy of, or kind of a clone of the Hover Air X1, which I have over here. Just a second.
Neo needs a firmware update. Yeah, it needs something.
But
Yeah, it sounds like
this little guy, which is a very cool drone in itself, and it does all of those things as well. It does the follow, it's hand launch and everything, but it doesn't do any of the other cool things that the Neo does, like the FPV and having a controller and like a proper controller and stuff. But one of the things it does very well, the Hover Air, is it will sit in front of you. You can walk all the way down that silly dirt road, and it will just sit in front of you like a cameraman. And it has the software in it to mute out the propeller noise. And that's exactly what the Neo is supposed to do. Precisely. It does the same thing. It takes out the propeller noise out of the audio feed, which is so cool. So you basically have a cameraman, except this cameraman is drunk. And like, when
was that audio and a video from the Neo?
Yes, that audio, the video was from the Neo. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
audio and video. Yeah.
Yeah, and the audio it's synced through the app with your mic, and it's pretty magical.
Okay.
but it just won't sit in front of you. I don't know why it gets confused. Now I know Sean on Air Photography's channel, his just sits right in front of him. So I don't know what's wrong. I think it looks at me and says, "Yeah, I'm going away." And
maybe it's getting glare off the dome.
that's it. It's the glare off the dome. I was wearing a hat. So
Yeah, it gets confused in water, over water, and bald heads, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually,
Check if your sensors are clean.
The Hover Air. Sorry, I put it back in its little box.
Check if
the
your
Hover
sensors
Air,
are clean.
This guy will not fly over water. Now I haven't actually tried it, but I know I've seen stuff on the web that people have tried to fly it just a little circle over the water and it just goes bananas. But this guy, the Neo, works perfectly fine over water. In fact, my second flight, I went over the water, the one that you showed there, Marcel. I flew it over the water. It has no problem. It's got downward facing sensors, but it doesn't rely upon them. It also has the GPS stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Must have. And so
water's tricky because of the reflections and everything.
Yeah. So I like this because it is so tiny and compact and easy to fly. You don't need you can really fly it 4 different ways. You can fly it just as a hand-launched autonomous drone, more or less, that does stuff like that, cameraman stuff. You can do that. Or you can fly it with an app that's on your phone, which is glued to your hand anyway. So, you have no extra equipment. Or you can use a regular, joystick style
motion
controller like any other drone, and it uses existing controllers like for the Mini 4, for example. You can use those, but the coolest thing is that you can fly at FPV with the DJI FPV goggles. The only sad thing is that this thing it's about $200, which is amazing. The goggles are like cheap. $1,200. So.
Yeah, exactly. Would they work with the V2 goggles? Do you know which one?
I don't think so. They're coming out with a cheaper version of the goggles.
Yeah, they are.
Like they're just like one screen.
Yeah, so
that's what I'm going to jump on.
I bought the goggles when I bought the Avata 2. This was my first FPV drone, and you guys honestly dared me into it, so I had to.
That's good. Well, comparison to the Avata 2 and the Neo, like obviously the size is different, but I mean performance and stuff. What do you think? What's the better buy?
I was flying them both on Thursday, last Thursday, I think. What's today? I have no idea.
Tuesday.
I'm retired. I have no idea what date. So maybe it was Saturday. It was Saturday. Excuse me. I was flying on Saturday, both of them, both with FPV goggles, one at a time. And I would say, so I flew the Avata 2 first, and I hadn't flown it in a while. And it was like, wow, this thing's great. You're zipping all around and
fast,
going through stuff, and very quick, very nimble. And it has some cool features that anybody who flies a real FPV drone would laugh at. But I get a kick out of it doing flips, for sure. Stupid things like that. I'm just a kid. So then I flew then I flew the Neo, and my first reaction was, this is so slow. It's like, I don't know, not half as fast, but it just seemed really sluggish, and it doesn't have all the fancy, flips or anything like that in it, but just as much fun. It just, it's just like noticeable going from the Avata 2 to the Neo that it's slower. Camera quality.
It's like the
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. It's like the Avata 2's new little brother kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It stumbles around and it does okay, but basically it's in grade 2 and I'm in grade 4. So.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
It would have been a good starter if you didn't have the Avata 2. Then you would have been like maybe a little bit more different mind. But I can see it's tough.
I think the whole idea of the autonomous hand launch thing appeals to me the most, because You know what I mean? I think it'd be cool to have, like, not that I do this a lot, but like if you're doing like vlogging kind of stuff, or you just wanted to take a lot more videos, and that's really cool. You could just like do that without breaking out the goggles and the controller and everything like that. You could just be like,
yeah. Well, I know.
Little guy, take a picture of me and my family, or follow us down this road. Like,
well, I have used the HoverX in some of my hiking videos, and it's just following around behind me, or in front of me, or beside me, or any of those things, and it's cool. I mean, it's not your main.
Go to Home Depot.
Yeah,
follow you down the aisles in Home Depot.
Do that. Yeah, I mean, people will beat it out of the air with a stick, but yeah. Oh, now there is one thing. I mentioned in the pre-show that with my girlfriend, I now suddenly have 7 grandkids. So they're fascinated by they're fascinated by this stuff, and it's like every once in a while they say, "Will you put me in a YouTube video?" You're a YouTuber? That's what
you're famous.
You?
Call back from the beginning of the show.
They're probably watching right now.
There you
go. Yeah.
But
awesome. Hey kids.
So a bunch of us, I think there were 4 of us and 3 adults going for a little walk. And I brought this along and I said, "Hey, this can follow you." And they were fascinated. So, and it's a great way to kind of introduce kids to technology when something's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So I had them following this one kid. And so there were boys and girls. The boys, and they were equally enthralled with it. But here's the catch. It was following one of the boys, and one of the girls decided to jump in its way. And it went right into her. Right into her hair. We had to get the scissors.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then, but that didn't phase the kids. The adults were like, "Oh, shit." Because the girl's parents were with us. So I said, "Well, walk the other way next time so we can even it out." So a few minutes later, it ran into another one of the girls, and we had to break the scissors out because it gets tangled in there really badly, and I felt horrible. Like I wasn't strictly speaking controlling it, but I was responsible. And so anyway, moral of the story is not that it's dangerous, but hair is bad for drones.
Yeah.
Wear a hat. Yeah.
So did you report it to the Transportation Safety Board?
I did not.
Uh-oh.
So here's the other weird thing. About a week later,
interviewing your family now.
The sun hit it, and I could see hair coming out of the bottom of it.
Of course.
Hair is nasty in those motors, man.
Yeah.
Especially tiny whoops and stuff like that. You get them in the carpet.
Tiny whoops the worst.
If you got a dog or a cat, your tiny whoop is just like short lifespan.
Full of hair. Yeah.
Oh geez. All right, everybody, type FPV World in the chat to enter the giveaway.
If I could remember how to spell it. Hey, Wedge and Big's here. Wedge and Big.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting the Neo, but the price for the goggles is definitely a deterrent, especially because I'm not into that ecosystem yet. But if they do come out with that,
you could do the autonomous or with your app.
Yeah. But I do like the goggles is definitely the key thing. And like you were saying for Squadron, the newer goggles that are coming out much cheaper. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to it for sure. Because there's other things I want to get too in FPV hobby. So there's no way I could just shell out $1,000 for one drone, right? Basically, as they're going to come down to.
Insane. Yeah, it is insane.
It seems like it never ends though, right? Every 3 months, right?
Yeah.
We get another drone.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
I believe I held off on this. Like I restrained myself. It was 2 minutes after it was available before I hit the order.
my biggest beef with it, like especially with DJI, is because I'm a DJI guy. I've got it in my freestyle quads. I got it in my long range quad, and my biggest beef is I like that they're coming out with cool new stuff, but it should be a little more backwards compatible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you should be able to use the new goggles with the old 3. you know, or whatever, or even the air unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard to have those protocols in the goggles to talk to it. You know what I mean? They're all based on the same thing, and the evolution of, like, I know, like I don't know coding and technology like that, but come on, it can't be that hard.
Right.
I mean, could you imagine if, like, Sony, if Sony cameras came out with a new mount every time they issued a new camera, you know, and all your lenses before were like no
tripod,
so you got to buy new lenses.
You had to get a new tripod.
Yeah, or anything. I mean,
everything.
No one does that, right?
Yeah.
No one does that. Like all companies realize, we got to keep some consistent. No, not DJI.
No.
Well, to their credit, I
New
think
stuff every time.
I think they're getting
new batteries, new controller,
better at it, though.
new goggles.
I mean, you don't need a new controller for this. You can use the controller for Mini 4. You can use the goggles from the Avata 2. But you know, it's only now starting to get that way. And I think they've changed the architecture in their software to be a little more flexible that way, because it seems to be pretty fast now that they'll come out with a new gizmo, and it will over a few months it will support some of the older models. Like that's what happened. The goggles, at least.
Yeah, I've noticed that firmware just has to catch up. Usually that's what it all is. Sometimes you just got to update it, but you can only update a certain product so much before you actually need to install something else, right? So
exactly.
Fiasco with O3 and G3 firmware issues for the 2 months finally resolved. That's good news. Yeah, we've been very lucky with FPV and, you know, the whole analog system and stuff. There's not really, I mean, there's competition, but not the way it is with DJI and other stuff. It's just insane. All even the digital systems now are like competing against each other.
Right?
Yeah. Can't use my RC Pro. What? With what? Is Neo?
What? I don't know. That's the thing. I could not. If somebody asked me, could I use this remote with that DJI drone? I'd be like, I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah, and the names for these controllers, the RC2, the RCN2. Don't forget it's the N2.
Yeah.
The goggles too. The goggles D2. Like, yeah.
Well, yeah, they came out with the V2 goggles, and then they came out with the goggles too, which made no sense, right? And then they only named the V2 after. Yeah. They should have decided on something and run with it. Next, we're gonna have the goggles 1 or something. You know,
right? They work it backwards.
It's the 1. Yeah,
they'll probably just skip it and go to 4.
Every company does that. You know, the Nike 1, the goggles 1.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the marketing catch. You never want to call something, you know, the goggles 1, because people say, wait a minute, that means you've got another one coming. I'll wait for that because it's going to be better.
Goggles X. Right.
Yeah. 1 point.
Already walks now. Yeah. 1 point. Just be V1, V2, V3.
Yeah, and it's so complicated. I mean,
I sound like an old man. Damn kids and their naming. Back in my day, we counted in order and we liked it. 1 came after 2, and 2 came after 1, and 3 came after 2, and we liked it.
We liked it.
Yeah, it's the new math, right?
Yeah.
Jerry Bauer, welcome in. We're going to do a quick little giveaway right now. Hope all you guys got in. There's 8 in, but there's like 17 of you watching.
Oh, God. Get in there. Hashtag FPV your world. Did I do it?
There's going to be a second giveaway and then a third giveaway later on, so stay tuned.
Free stuff, kids. Free stuff. I love free stuff.
And thank you very much, Basement Gardener, for coming in with the $2 super chat.
And I see we have a Gary and a Jerry on board.
Gary and Jerry. Jerry and Gary. Good luck.
Get some.
I better not win.
I didn't see
Brent Ariels.
Hey, Brent
Congratulations.
Way to go, Gary. That's Gary Foster from Burford, Ontario.
That's Mr. Brandt. Just kidding.
Burford. That wasn't far from where I grew up.
Feel free to email me, Gary, and we'll send you out a sticker pack. Thank you very much for being here.
Woo-hoo.
Fuck yeah. We'll get a bunch of stickers
I've been to Gary's house.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
He lives
Does he know that?
not far from where I grew
Does he
up.
know that? Did you say?
He knew
Does
that.
he know that? Yeah. He does now.
Oops. I was going to say, and I've met his wife, but I hate to think what you're going to say to that.
Right?
Does he know that?
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. We're going to start off with some community edits.
I'm sorry.
We're going to start off the playlist. That's why we keep him on here. It's hilarious. Love this guy. This is a beautiful shot.
Making myself
This is
laugh
something
more, though.
that you've been working on. I've seen on the channel, these relaxation mode type videos. This is really cool. No music, just pure beautiful.
You got to get up way too early in the morning for this stuff, though.
That
This is
was
my problem.
That was at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
It was flowing
pretty
from
late
my
for fog like
girlfriend's backyard. She owns all of those beautiful orange maples, and I'm at the other end.
Oh,
of the
lucky. Woohoo.
Beautiful.
You got better colors than we did around here. Around here, it was very brown this year.
Yeah, I was astonished. This was about an hour's north of where we live. And it just went on forever.
Yeah. Our colors were much more muted this year.
That's the one thing I miss in Ontario. You don't see that a lot in BC because we have a lot of the green cedars and stuff, so you don't see as much different color changes like this.
And it always looks so good with a bright blue sky and those orange colors like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like match made in heaven.
And believe it or not, this was the same day. No, excuse me, this was the next day after the shot.
The music is a little loud, Mr. Off-Axis there,
There is no music.
I think.
I'm very good.
What? You can't hear the music?
I can do it.
I can hear the music.
What? Are you kidding me?
Did you say what? Yeah, no, there's music.
What? I can't hear it. Are you?
That's better value. I'm not
Yeah.
joking. Can you hear it, Don?
I can hear it, yeah. But maybe that's because
Yeah.
I'm on the screen. I don't know.
Where did First Squadron go? Did we lose him?
No, he's just grabbing a drink.
I'm here.
Oh,
That's
oh no! Oh, sorry. No, you were pushed down on the list of faces on my screen, and you're below the scroll.
I don't know why I can't
I
hear
can
it. If
see
you
that.
guys can hear it, that's really tripping me up because that's never happened before. But hope you guys are enjoying
you
it.
know
And
of.
if it's too loud, I can turn it down more.
It
Wow,
was flipping.
everyone
It was
can hear
flipping
it.
pretty bad, yeah.
I want to come surf that hill.
What? I even started the video. It was like, there's relaxation mode with no music, but it looks awesome.
You did say that, and I was like, oh, you've muted it, but I can still hear it. So
That's orange therapy right there.
Yeah, beautiful shots. Beautiful shots.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Nice.
Let's see if I can fix this time. That was really strange. I
does
never
that
had that.
screw up your copyright stuff?
Oh, I know what happened.
That's
Yeah,
all
I had
that would
unmute. I had mute tab. That's why. From
Mm,
earlier, I muted a different tab by accident,
you muted
so
it.
I couldn't hear it. That's cool. Wicked.
Mhm.
That was a great video, though. I really like the relaxation videos that you've been doing. You've done a few of them, different sceneries. Really nice.
Thank you.
Enjoy them.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love, like, that's what I love personally. That's what I do. That's why I own drones, is for those videos. And I'll get like 2,000 views on a video that talks about the number of drones in Canada, and I'll get 200 on a beautiful thing like that. And it's like, I don't care. I did it for me. So
Right.
I think we all have to be creative. I think it's just something about being human, right? You have to have that outlet some way, and drones are incredible for that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
definitely. You can be so creative. It's like a paintbrush on paper.
exactly.
Speaking of Pumpkinhead.
Speaking of Pumpkinhead,
what? Crashtifer. I always dug his name. That's a good name.
Yeah. Cheers.
Were
Good
you-
to see you, Shelby Vole. And
Were you
props
working
off.
on a? Were you working on a ghost drone off axis?
A drone that carries a little ghost around, yes. But it's been too wet here. Even today, like I tried to go after work, and right away it started to rain after work. I was like, "Oh, thank you very much for being so nice at work," and then after work being pouring rain again. It's the worst.
Is it just me? Like I seriously, like people chuckle when I say I've got bad luck in that way. Like I will sit here working my ass off all day, looking outside of this beautiful sunny day, and be like, all right, I'm going to work till this time, and then I'm going to go flying. And literally 5 minutes before my last battery is charged, it'll start raining. It's like the rain knows when I plug my charger in or something. Like
did you let the rest of us know? So.
Oh, who is that?
Yeah, exactly.
This is getting scary.
Is that guy just eating a cat?
Grim.
I thought that only happened in the States.
I heard about that.
They're eating the cats.
This is spooky.
I think I dated her once. I'm not sure.
Hope she's not watching.
Uh,
I think I dated her. I think we all know somebody who looks like that on the inside.
This is really good backwards flying.
I think it's the Avada.
Must be mounted on the back or something. Oh,
it might not be flying.
Yeah, it could be an Avada.
It is an Avada too.
Oh, is that what it says in there?
Yeah, with the program.
Now, is it? How did they? Like it's so beautifully foggy. Is that added as an effect, or was it actually foggy?
I don't
Or is
know.
it just
Maybe a little of both?
It almost looks like a mist filter on there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
It has a lot of mist. Like it's almost like on the filter too.
Yeah,
That's kind of
too
what
It's like AI.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, you can see it. It's something on the filter, on the lens. Something there.
A little bit of Vaseline on the old filter trick.
Whoa, yeah.
11-year-old Pumpkinhead. That was a big 11-year-old.
And he was scary too. Imagine when he's 12.
Right.
Oh yeah.
All right, what do we
This
got here?
Canis lupus.
Canis lupus. I don't think we've seen this one
That's
before
the
yet.
wolf, right?
This
That's
is
a wolf,
definitely a
right?
different style.
No, a wolf
Sure.
is lupus. Canis lupus is a dog, isn't it?
Dog, yeah.
A lupus is a wolf.
Lupus is wolf.
Yeah, lupus is a wolf, I think. I can't remember now. Ah,
How is this done?
AI.
It's some kind of a filter, probably.
Yeah, this is
Maybe in
some kind of
DaVinci
like,
Resolve.
Photoshop is called, was it glowing edges?
Weird.
It's like it's
Yeah, glowing edges,
edge enhancement or something, yeah. But it's neat.
I think nowadays it'll be done AI.
trippy.
Just ask the AI to do it. Let's see if he says anything in the.
What do you use, Tanzilla, for your video editing?
I don't do much video editing. Anything I do is for fun. I'm a stills editor by trade, but the only
What do you use though?
editing I do for. Oh, I'm using Adobe Premiere because I already have a full Adobe subscription for work, so that's my go-to.
That's what I use.
That's handy. Wow.
I've gone into DaVinci
I pay for
Resolve.
I pay for it. Work
It's
is me.
expensive.
Yeah.
I
I've
use
got the full
Cyberlink Power Director.
Power Director?
That works. I've heard of it, but I don't know it. What's he saying this one? Oh, insanity. Should have just used the real song for this. Doesn't say anything about how he did it in the description.
Trippy. Definitely trippy. Very
Like
cool.
Yeah.
Very creative. Like
Oh,
I
yeah,
was saying
Shelby.
earlier, like a paint on a paper. It's crazy.
I fly X-Wing.FPV. Not dot, but just FPV.
Yeah, this is a newer subscriber, I think from the UK, I believe.
Can't be the UK.
No.
It's Blue Sky.
Right?
I was going to say there's a license plate. The license plate was North American shaped
Oh, was it?
on that pickup truck. Yeah.
But it looks almost Australian, doesn't it? Like the
Could be.
foliage.
I was going to say Californian, but with those hills
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I was
why
thinking
don't
Florida.
look?
Albert Kim's Park. Yeah.
Just a random OC park between real estate.
That's a
work.
pump track for
OC park.
skateboards and bikes. That's kind of
Orange
cool.
County?
Orange County.
It says
right.
an OC park. Is that Orange County?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no mountains in
Oh,
Florida.
it's called,
I think the
oh,
highest
yeah, it's
mountain is
called
150 feet or
Sendero,
something.
Sendero Field
Yeah,
Mission.
the
PA.
track is higher than any
Yeah.
else.
Totally.
Southern California. Somewhere. I haven't seen Brandon Beans around for recently. We should say his name 3 times. He could tell us where this is. He's
True.
from down there. Oh, he's from Northern California.
He actually had a very cool edit recently. I should probably find it and play it. I totally forgot about it.
I keep seeing that tower in the back there, and I think that's an airport control tower, but no, it's just on a hotel.
Mhm.
California. There you go.
X-Wing. Did I put the... I don't think I do.
So we were talking about all these, painting with our drones and stuff. I was actually out looking for a lost teenager yesterday.
Right, yeah, you were
Oh,
saying.
wow.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, we can talk about that when we're done with the videos here.
Did you find him?
You can go right ahead. This one's a quiet one.
No, we didn't.
That's
We didn't find
suspicious.
him. He's been missing for 2 weeks. He's a teenager.
Oh.
What are they? I don't know the proper term, but I believe it's working autistic.
Okay.
Ran away from home. He's done that before, so they didn't report it for a couple of days, but now he could be pretty much anywhere. So hundreds of people are out looking for him. I was out with my drone. It's about an hour and a half from where I live. I drove up there, started flying in a few spots that people had suggested. I only encountered one person, and that person was also looking for him. I couldn't believe it. Like in the middle of nowhere, it's like, oh, hi, I'm sorry, I didn't want to disturb you. I'm flying my drone. I'm looking for a teenager. Oh, so am I.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
Yeah, no, he hasn't been found. The OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police, have been flying their big drones. I was flying my mini. I mean, if you're above the trees, you can't see squat. So
unless you have like thermal or something on your drone, right?
Yeah, unless you have thermal, it's just a crapshoot with very low odds of finding anybody. I could barely see myself when I flew over myself.
Right.
But I have a lot of footage of treetops and railroad track because I went 1.5 kilometers in both directions down a railway track.
Just covering all the bases. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you almost
know.
need like some kind of like a Vada too, just to go through the trees and just kind of like cruise around through the trees inside low, right? And just kind of
that would be possible, but I'm sure I'm not good enough. I would lose my drone instantly.
Yeah. Totally.
And then I would go after it, and then they'd be looking for me, and
the drone, and the other drone, and the other drone. Yeah.
I remember. That reminds me. It was really cool technology I saw, and it would work in something like this. Somebody was working on like a swarm of autonomous drones, and I think the video I saw, they had 6 or a dozen of them, and they just let them loose in the forest, and they can work together and go around the trees and like do a grid through a forest by themselves, avoiding trees and branches and everything, and making sure they're talking to each other so they all cover the ground and have overlap and everything, and
be able to identify
amazing technology.
That
exactly.
would be the other piece of technology that you'd need, and that's
I think when I saw it, it was just in this testing stage where they were just getting them to go through a forest, right? Think of the logistics of programming a swarm to work its way through a forest together. I think they were using it to count trees or something for like environmental sciences, but for something like search and rescue, that would be a game changer.
We talked about.
Sorry, I had to pull this one up.
Look at what are you putting up? What are you putting up?
This is the autonomous drones that you were just talking about.
Yeah,
this is through bamboo and
there, just like that. Oh Jesus, that's scary.
I know, but these guys, they're not even being flown by a person. It's just autonomous. It's amazing.
Algorithm guides them.
Can you imagine?
Gap. 2 drones are crossing.
You got 100. You got 100 Neos that you let loose in the forest.
That's pretty
now. Can you imagine if you were, walking through this, and this came at you? You just crap your pants.
Yeah, I'd be running the other way.
A swarm of poisonous forest drones.
Extremely dense regions too. They're just cutting through it like nothing.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive.
That's big.
That's what you need.
As an aside, that's big bamboo.
Yeah. Yeah. But could you imagine they all had like infrared or whatever? Search and rescue.
Yeah.
Boom. It'd be so fast. It'd be so easy.
It'd be so
all those inaccessible spots.
It'd be just ridiculous.
Right? Because there's places that are so hard to get on foot, and it just takes all day to go check out this one little valley. You know?
It'd be amazing.
Those drones out there in 20 minutes.
Crazy.
Hey, Tobias Yoder's here. And Mr.
Welcome in, Tobias. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll get that in our future, right? It's coming to China, so maybe it's going to come to Canada, at least in the United States soon.
next week. Yeah.
I don't think we've seen anything yet compared to what's coming.
No. We're definitely so far in the dark. We don't even know.
Science fiction, damn it.
In the dark.
Another haunted one. Ooh, spooky.
Oh, Halloween.
That's right. It is Halloween week, guys. Thanks for all being here. I love Halloween, so I celebrate it the whole week. I was going to dress up tonight, and I just totally didn't have enough time.
Yeah, same with me. I didn't have any time either.
I celebrate my own way by eating all the Halloween candy before Halloween, and then having to go get more, and then no kids come to our house, so we get to eat all the Halloween candy after Halloween.
There you go. So there's no downside.
No downside, just candy. As you can tell by my svelte figure, I'm no stranger to candy.
This is such a neat structure. I mean, where did they even find this?
I'm trying to get there now.
Just a random castle that was left in the middle of nowhere.
The Haunted Tower. Abandoned in the woods, haunted tower. It doesn't say where. It says Victorian, so I'm guessing. The channel is called Albion Drones, so I'm guessing it's Albion, England, right? That is a place in England.
Yeah. Could be.
Oh, it's got the crows.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful shots. Here's another DJI Neo drone. Let's see what we can do with this
taking over. Flight. Yeah, do some flippy flips. Excuse me.
Oh, Denzel is dancing. Look out.
It doesn't sound like
Yeah,
a
it's like a
copyright
Muppet.
song. So. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that treehouse looks amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I want that.
That's one
That
of
whole house is
the
amazing.
treehouse.
Yeah.
I know.
And is that a wall or a hedge around it? It's
Can
like
I
a
live in your
hedge.
treehouse?
It's a wall.
Please.
Is it a
Oh,
wall?
it's
It's a
your
hedge.
treehouse.
It's a hedge.
Imagine how long it would take to trim that.
That's
I
a
guess you
massive
could get an
hedge.
autonomous drone.
Yeah, there you go. I got a drone for that.
Got a drone for that.
Doesn't say where he is, but
What was
looks like
that?
it's because it's Jesus de Vesa, so it looks like it could be Spain or something. Or
Wow, magical, beautiful spot.
tropical.
That's for sure.
yeah,
Awesome.
sweet. His backyard. There.
We got some Frenchness going on here. I think we're watching it on 4K. That's a problem.
Shaper FPV.
French, I think. Oh yeah.
I'm losing track of which direction is up.
There isn't anymore.
These
Some of these guys
Spanish,
are just insane. Holy. I don't think we've seen this guy before.
Is that 3D?
No, but it's close.
Yeah.
It looks.
Yeah.
It almost looks like 3D.
Yeah.
It's just really
Trippy
spinny.
spins. Trippy spins.
It's real.
Wow.
Very convenient building that is.
Hey, Swift Duck.
Hey, Swift Duck, welcome in, buddy. The cool West Coast bandos are all on the island. Yep. First Squadron knows about that. Wow. What a rip. That's quite the change of pace.
So you say that was on the island?
No, but he does say
I
that
was-
there's some really cool bandos on the island.
Oh yeah.
I think that one's in France somewhere. I don't know. Only the song was French there, so I don't know.
Yeah, it could have been in Florida. Who knows?
Oh, this is another Tucker FPV. So he's got funny videos.
I like how
This
he's
is
putting the
fun.
words to the song on the bottom. Reminds me of remember back in the day where they had that little ball that jumped on the words on the screen to like follow along with what the
it was
person
like
was saying or
pop-up
whatever.
video.
No,
Pop-up video
I
would
don't
be
think it was pop-up video, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. The bouncing ball. Oh, the
yeah.
bouncing ball. Oh no! Somebody's had too many dog biscuits.
Yeah.
What's the name of your puppy?
Oh, this is Bunny.
Bunny.
Hey, buddy! Bunny, 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 bunny.
Hello.
bunny.
Adorable.
Oh, then I got another one here too. This is Orchid.
Oh, jeez.
They're everywhere. Oh my goodness, they look like a dastardly duo too. Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble.
Definitely.
What did the dogs do now?
Ooh.
Out.
I guess it's who let the dogs in, not the who let the dogs out.
Arr. Has anybody done a freestyle edit to that song yet?
Wow. It's a long video, no? He's killing it, though. This is a really nice explorer. He's really covering a lot of ground.
10 minutes. I'm guessing this is on his lunch hour from that warehouse or something. You know what I mean?
That would be. That makes sense.
If I worked at a place like this, I'd be doing that every day too.
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
There he is. There.
Heck yeah. Atlantic Adventures all the way from the East Coast. Welcome in, brother. That's
Hey.
Canadian East Coast.
That would be Bill. not?
Pardon?
Wow. Okay, 10 minutes of intro. We got lots to go through here. One more. This is a new spot, one pack, warts and all. Okay.
It's Jinx. New spot, one pack, warts and all.
Heck yeah.
Can the Neo do this though?
Not quite.
That's your challenge this week, Don. I want to see you do a power loop with your Neo.
I would throw up in my goggles.
Right?
Power loop to gap.
On some of those toy drones, you could like hit a button on the remote and it would do a flip for you. I wonder if the Neo could do that.
Well, I'm sure they'll do that because there's a button on the Avata to do that.
Right?
You can flip it horizontally, vertically, up, down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just hit button flips.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flippity
just like a toy drone. Yeah. I was surprised it didn't have that on the Neo, but
yeah,
it's still early days.
Yeah, true. Wait for the Neo 2, or maybe the version 2. We'll have to see.
Firmware 1.0 power 1.300.
It'll be the Neo Pi.
The Neo Pi. I think you're going a little too far.
The Neo.
But I do want Pi.
Theta, Zeta, Beta.
I was actually using the Avata 2 when I filmed in the summer a tank exhibition, and at the Oshawa Tank Museum, and I was actually doing the drift maneuver with the Avata. So I'd go flying after a tank and then drift around it and see it coming at me. It was very
nice.
Cool.
Very neat.
When you first said the tank exposition or whatever, I thought you were talking about plumbers.
No.
Sound very exciting.
You got have you posted those? I'd love to see those, Don.
Yeah, for sure. Show some tank pictures.
You should post them.
The Tank Museum ones?
Yeah,
they're on my channel. I did like.
Are they? Oh, okay. I'll check that out. I
did
think I saw that.
At least 4, maybe 5. It was cool. And one of them is the FPV. It's a one-on-one battle between, I think it was a Leopard 2 and a M60A1, and yeah, so they're driving around and I'm chasing them in a freaking drone.
Try not to get run over.
I drove a Sherman tank when I was 5. It was my father was in the Queen's Guard.
Oh yeah,
they even had combat instructor, and so I got to drive a Sherman tank. My mom says it was the most excited she ever saw me.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
5-year-old kid with a tank.
Yeah.
I got a ride in an M60, but I didn't get to drive it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen you got to ride in it. Yeah.
So here's the weird thing. So I met my girlfriend in December at Easter. So that was April. I meet her brother, and we're just yakking away, eating and talking. And he says, I say, well, so what do you do? Because he had this T-shirt on with a tank on it. And he said, oh, I'm the restoration manager at the Oshawa Tank Museum. So I dropped my plate. It was like, what?
Yeah, that's fun.
And I turned to Joy and I say, this is a deal breaker, because like now you're keeping secrets from me. You didn't tell me your brother was the restoration manager at a tank museum. So like 2 weeks later, I'm in Oshawa, sitting in a tank with her brother for like 2 hours in a turret of a Sherman, as it happened, and spent all day there with him, and then got invited by the museum director to film their huge event in the summer. So yeah, it was fun. It was amazing.
Awesome.
You better not break up with her now. I mean,
I know. You
might not have a house when you get home.
Yeah.
And yesterday, on the way back from trying to find this teenager, I stopped at another one of her brothers because he had just bought a Mini 4 Pro, and he wanted some instructions. So I was helping him with that. And And the weekend that I did the leaves, I was at one of her sister's places, filming her place. It's all drones.
Oh, analog.
That's wild. There we go. Through there. Of course we go through.
Talk about oh, it's a little choppy, Mr. Marcel. Is it 4K? Who shows analog in 4K? I'll never know. Wait, is this analog? Yeah.
Looks like it could be, doesn't it? Or artifacts.
It's got those weird, those weird artifacts. But nowadays,
Yeah, it is.
doesn't
It
have
is.
that.
That was an analog OSD.
Yeah. It looks pretty crispy though. It's no DJI O3 though. So now that the leaves have changed colors, you know what's next? Scraggle season. Those hidden branches that reach out. You don't see them when they grab your drone.
Yes, they do.
Scraggle. Ghost branches.
I was once trying to avoid one of those, only to discover it was the grid lines on my screen.
That's awesome. It's like flying if your camera's all kinky. You got your camera on an angle that you don't realize. Like your camera's like looking slightly left or slightly right. Your brain just
trying to correct
I can't. I mean, yeah, you can't fly and you can't figure out what it is at first and what's going on. And ooh, prop noise. Oh, Kiss Ultra. Not that.
Yeah,
again.
all the prop noise.
I assume he's just clearing the leaves off this parking lot.
There you go.
Yeah. Low and fast, baby.
Again, I got a drone for that.
Perfect. You go.
Make that.
They should make something like a little like a toothpick with like 10-inch props on it. Big fans. Clearing the roof of leaves.
You need to have understanding neighbors, of course.
Right.
I did that a little while ago while I was flying. I was like, "Can you get those?" There's like pine needles in one of the valleys on the roof, and I just took my 6S up there and hovered over them and just punched out a couple of times.
Yeah,
them right out.
Yeah, I've done it. It's great.
Smart. Very cool. Well, right now it's giveaway number 2.
Ooh.
Hashtag tank in the chat.
Ooh.
Oh, and I
giving away a tank?
Atlanta. Hey, don't.
No, but I thought it was very fitting with earlier's conversation. Stank? No, not stank. Tank.
Who is Huba and why does he have a tank?
Huba's tank.
He has a tank. I got my hot water tank replaced today, but it was not. I didn't film it.
That's pretty exciting stuff. Oh, come on, man. That's gonna get you YouTube views right there.
Yeah,
you gotta film it with your drone.
I don't know. It's a poorly kept secret, but I actually do have a second channel called Don Does Stuff, and it's
there you go.
Where my motto is basically, if it's worth doing, it's worth filming. It's not quite
so like
what
go
you
to the
think
bathroom.
it is, but
I was gonna say like go to the bathroom and stuff like that. Like follow me, little Neo.
There's some pretty weird stuff on there, let me tell you. Thanksgiving, funny. I did a nacho dip. That was my video.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious. All right, I gotta show this video from you, Don.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Tanks.
Did you get the? Which one? Oh no, this is the
one.
We know back. Not the FPV one.
This isn't the FPV one?
This is not the FPV one.
Which one?
Oh, by the way, my girlfriend's brother was driving this tank. He was the I was going to say the pilot,
Jeez.
the driver.
Was he in the army or something? Like, how did he get that job? Like, how do you get a job working at a tank museum?
How did you get?
Did he go to school for museums?
No, he had no background with that. He repaired tractors and restored stuff like, you know, Jeeps and things like that. Not army kind of stuff. And he ran into somebody who liked a Jeep in his garage, and he said, "By the way, I collect these for the museum." And then, bing bang boom, he's working. He's a volunteer.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh yeah, this is all Avata 2. This is Avata 2 footage.
You're not going to drop anything on those tanks later on, are you?
No.
I want to see catch one of those flashbangs.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, yes, I was the official drone person for the event, so everybody knew I was doing it. And look at the control tower in the back. That's how close.
There's an airport right there.
I had to get an SFOC, like 20 odd pages of documentation to fly my 377 gram near a drone, near a tank.
That's epic, though. That's pretty cool. That's like a once in a lifetime opportunity for some people.
I can just imagine them going over the SFOC. Hey, come over here. Look what Don's up to now.
Yeah.
Give it to him.
I know the guy who approved the SFOC, and he actually said afterwards, he said, "I just approved it, and I can't wait for the video."
Awesome.
I think your 20-page SFOC probably pales in comparison to the kind of documentation you would need to drive a tank around in public.
Yeah, you would hope, but I bet not.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they can't be like operational, right?
These
in the U.S. they can under what is it? The Second Amendment. I think they can have any kind of weapon system.
We don't have that Second Amendment. This is Canada.
No, we don't.
But I think there are still restrictions, even in the States.
Watch this. See, I go by him, and I don't know where he is, and so I start backing up. Yeah. He's backing up as well.
Oh no!
He almost hit me.
Spin.
That would have been his fault.
Yeah. I actually had a visual observer in the stands. We were communicating over headsets, and he said, "Go up, go up, go up, go up."
Yeah.
Punch out.
Yeah.
But then you can turn it into something cool. If you punch out, you can kind of dive down on the. You know.
I teach that when I do my training. Teach them to punch out. But one time somebody was going close to the ground, and a dog was chasing after it, and I was like, "Punch out, punch out!"
Yeah, get up.
And the dog was just leaping at it, and he just punched out last second. Oh, it was so close.
I had two different visual observers on this weekend, and my number one instruction to them was only give me positive, assertive instructions. Never say, "Do not do this." Always say, "Do this. Go up, go left, go right." You know, because otherwise, if I miss the don't, I'll read it wrong.
Right.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but if a bird comes to attack you, you should always punch out, because a bird can't fly straight up, right? But if you go down, they can dive right on you easily and take you out, right?
Truth.
So always punch out.
Exactly the same with a tank.
I'm surprised I have yet to have any run-ins with birds here. I mean,
really? Oh,
the robins in my yard. I don't care about my drone anymore. Like, I can buzz them with like the 5-inch drone, and they just continue pecking away at the grass. They ignore it. It's crazy.
That's cool.
Don't fly away anymore.
I think this year probably 3 or 4 times I've had to punch out from a bird coming at me.
I've never.
That was a drift shot right there.
Mm-hmm. How was the dust when you landed?
Fast. Like this was incredibly fast. For me, anyway.
That's the thing about tanks, right? You can hear this tank. Oh, yeah, it could do 60 miles an hour. It turns out it's like 30 tons.
These ones are, I think the M60, which is that one. No, sorry, that's a Leopard.
Yeah.
I believe it's 50 tons. And
Wow,
and
yeah.
I was sitting. Where is it? There's a little gazebo. Here's another drift shot. There's a little gazebo right there, and that's where I was, right there beside the gray.
Oh, yeah.
And my equipment was so covered in filth by the end of this weekend. It was incredible.
Dust and dirt, yeah.
Dusty transmitter, dusty everything.
Everything. Dusty me.
Oh, your gimbals must love you.
Yeah. Exactly. I was actually surprised that they survived.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
And you got about 4 more of those type of videos on there, so guys, check it out.
Yeah.
On Joyce's channel. Awesome content.
Hashtag chant. Hashtag tank.
Hashtag the tanks. Yeah. All right. So let's do this quick giveaway here. We only got 10 people signed up so far. But we're
Second rule of shooting tanks is don't get run over.
There you go. Don't get run over, yeah. Don't fly backwards.
I'll tell you, yeah, if I had a drone that was crushed by a tank, that would definitely be going on in a frame on the wall.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well,
right?
I put an Action 3 camera under 2 different tanks and have them drive over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Not treads.
But yeah. Over the base, where it's lifted. Yeah.
Very, very cool shots. And the one guy said, the driver of one of them looked at the footage after and he says, "Oh, looks like I've got a little oil problem."
Drip.
Oil leak.
All right.
Oh, that'd be cool though if you were like if the tank drove over you and then like you took off behind it, drive over your quad.
I would do that with the Avata. The Neo. I wouldn't do it with the Avata. Just a little too much.
Risk.
Or even do a fly through underneath.
You could easily.
Yeah, I did. I do that with my 5-inch and a GoPro for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
You only live once. Don.
Next year, I'm sure I'll be invited back. So, just a factoid. So I was there for 3 days of filming. I had 2 drones, a Mini 4 Pro and the Avata 2, 600 gigabytes of footage.
Wow.
Because everything was filmed at 60 frames per second. At least.
Yeah.
And of course, ground cameras as well, all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 600 brutal with your edits.
That's a mini movie right there, production studio. Yeah. Good luck. I have a hard time editing that much footage. It's so tough. And then Zoe came out with a video recently where she's using the FPV camera. She's also using a camera that's vlogging, that's filming her. But then she's also got a camera on a tripod that she moves every so often to film the drone doing the gaps and like how movements and stuff. Holy, just that much footage alone would just blow my mind. It'd be like, how do you put it together? Like,
well, exactly. And that was my biggest, from a logistical perspective. I had 2 action cameras, a 360 camera, which basically fucked up the entire time, and the 2 drones. So, it was, just so much. I just had to keep so organized to get it all together and then patch it all into some, like that video was just the simplest because it was just the Avata 2. I just trimmed out a few bits, but some of the battle scenes that are in some of the other videos, there's ground, there's drone there. It's actually merged because they did the same thing 2 or 3 times over the weekend. Right. So sometimes I would have a scene that I wanted. The next time I would miss it, but I would be able to use it from the previous day. So,
if the weather's the same.
The weather was perfect. It was. I was lucky. I was really lucky. But the whole thing was at an airport. So I mean, just crazy trying to get the documentation. Sorry, do your draw.
No, it's awesome. That's a great story. I love hearing about it. We all do. That's great. It's super cool. Super cool. All right, second giveaway, guys. Let's go.
What's this one for? Sticker
pack number 2.
Ticket pack number 2. Oh! I saw my name. Caleb Stone. Caleb.
Atlantic Adventures.
There we go.
Awesome.
Bill gets the stickers.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Or like Nick Burns, right? Stickers.
Flaps.
All right. We got about 10 more minutes left in the show. At the very end of the show, we're going to do our very last giveaway, which is a roll of Polymaker filament. And Discord has already happened and already given away a roll on Discord. So congratulations to Vice FPV on Discord for winning a roll of filament over there. He had no competition this time. Usually there's about 20 people on Discord that are signed up for that giveaway. Only one.
They missed it. I couldn't enter.
You couldn't. No, you already
90 days or whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
Rules is rules. It made me sad.
Atlantic Adventures, email me off axis. I'll put it in the chat again. And then I'll send it out to you ASAP.
Feel free to email him inappropriate pictures as well.
If somebody sends me their email address right away to a free draw, like you could, can you do another draw, Marcel?
Sure.
For a Drone Pilot Association of Canada mug?
Ooh, the coveted mug.
The mug.
That's going to be some lucky contestant.
Do another thing, and I'll give you my email address to send the winner, or the winner can send me their address.
I think it should be hashtag fresh pots. Fresh pots for coffee. You know?
Fresh pots.
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Fresh pots video? Oh, search one day when you get 5 minutes, search Dave Grohl, from Foo Fighters, Fresh Pots.
Oh, really?
He used to have like a coffee addiction, and it's this funny like compilation of him yelling at his assistant to get him more coffee. He always yells fresh pots, but you can just see he's had too much caffeine, and he's a drummer, right? So he's just like
I'll drink to that.
All right.
It's a funny video. Fresh pots.
Danzilla called it, so you got to type it.
This is for fresh pots. Fresh pots.
Not pot.
Not pot. You get a mug full of pot.
Fresh pots.
Yeah. See, Don's trying to deny it now.
Yeah, he's backpedaling his offer of free pot. I heard it.
It's neither free nor pot.
I thought you were telling me earlier that it holds a quarter ounce. Come on.
That's exactly
right. Specifically designed by the Drone Pilot Association.
That's the Drone Pirate Association.
Oh, I like it. Oh, yeah, go for it, Atlantic Adventures. Enter away.
Everyone can enter.
Believe it or not, the iPad that I had in that picture is out on loan.
Oh, darn. That's a great picture.
Drone Pirate Association.
I like that.
Canada wants you.
Oh, you got the eye patch there.
I also have an earring.
Yeah, the earring too.
Oh, he does too.
And this is the new FPV Your World Halloween logo up there between the two of you.
That's pretty cool.
Sneak preview.
Hey, Marcel, what's a pirate's favorite letter?
C, because the R is too wavy or something. I forget how the other one goes. How's it go? Tell us.
Most people say R, but then you say R, but they sure do love the C.
There you go.
That's my favorite.
There's another reply that goes the other way. I forget how it goes though.
Yeah.
Old school.
R, but they sure do love the C.
Yeah. All right. R. Drone pots.
Did you know that there was never an actual historical example of a pirate's treasure map where X marks the spot? Really? That was from a novel. That was never happened. Not once.
No. So if you ever find a treasure map that has an X mark, it's
not a pirate's map.
It's a scam.
Yeah, the pirates were smarter. Pirates were smarter than that. They did
scam.
That was from I think it was like Robert Louis Stevenson or something. Who was it that invented the romantic version of the pirate?
Interesting. All right. We're going to do this quick draw right now. Let's go. Good luck, everybody.
And they didn't talk like that either.
R.
That's also from
They
the
never
movies.
said R. Caleb.
Hey, Titler.
Congratulations.
So send your address to me, which is dondroneson@gmail.com. I'm trying to sign in.
Caleb, are you in the chat? Oh, you must be in the chat because he typed fresh pots, right?
How would you do that otherwise?
There he is.
Yep,
yeah.
there he is.
Good.
Don
You're
at
gonna have to
Don
make some fresh
Drones.
pots.
No, dondroneson@gmail.com.
Right.
Dondroneson@gmail.com. How do I join the chat?
You have to go into YouTube. You can only view, I believe, here, unless you stream it to your YouTube.
That sounds too complicated. Can somebody type dondroneson@gmail.com into the...
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay. Why can't I? Oh, it's because it's going past so fast. Okay. So Caleb, send me your mailing address ASAP, because I get a free shipping label on Tuesdays up until midnight, and it's 11 o'clock here. So,
Hell yeah.
I'm ticking.
All right. I want to play one last video, and then we'll do the very last giveaway, because I definitely want to play this video. It's pretty hilarious, and we love our Brandon Beans. He's comical.
Ooh, I haven't seen this.
And very informative. I don't know where I'd be without him, because he's helped me a lot. So this is a really fun video. It's kind of long, but it's definitely worth it. We'll check it out until we're tired of it.
If you think Don Ed First Squadron are good at their regulations, this guy's the PID master.
Yeah,
this guy
the tuning of the drone.
His tuning of drones, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, when he talks about PIDs, it's just like Latin.
Yes. Where are we going? We're gonna go see where the famous penis baby was born.
Woohoo!
What?
I am here at the Bando River Hospital. This is where the old emergency room entrance was. You can almost see where it would have said that. There's some awesome gaps here to be able to power loop and stuff. But we're actually going to go around to the back. Warning, keep out. They don't want anybody in there. They don't want the public to find out. It's some kind of underground structure. There's some, they needed ventilation down
I'm waiting to see
ground.
a penis baby. What the?
You'll hear about it later, and you'll find out who it is. It's hilarious.
They're down here getting freaky.
Down there getting freaky.
That's a funny shot of beans.
It's very like skateboard, old school vibes in some kind of ways.
Did a good job with it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
He's a really good pilot too.
Yeah, very good pilot.
Total nerd from top to bottom. I love him. I'm sure he'd be okay with me saying that. He knows his shit. Yeah, but he's like talking at like engineer levels of PID tuning, you know.
Yeah.
Talking about filters and waves and.
We're actually going to go down the ways, and I'll show you where the
alien blood.
Yeah.
This is evidence of some of the trials that were going on here. Some of the lore of this hospital. It was built in 1969 with the intention of running experimental trials with synthetic bovine penile growth hormone. I think this might be one. Moist FPV, robotic prosthesis. They were shut down in the FDA in April 1981. Unlawful experimentation on newborn human infants. The famous penis baby, Aaron Ciotti, remains the only survivor from these human trials. And what you see behind us is a map of the facility.
Ciotti must have loved this.
I don't even know if he's seen it yet. I don't know if he's even seen it yet.
Like hours old or?
Yeah, it's only like a day old.
I'm gonna definitely go to his stream tomorrow. I'll go, hey, Mr. Penis Baby.
Right. Oh man! So Aaron Ciotti is another live streamer, FPV pilot. It's been around for a long time. It's hilarious. We're all a bunch of buddies.
Yeah.
With a gangly gang.
Yeah. He's the Whoop King. He does like tiny 65 and 75 millimeter indoor flying. He's a master at that and building and tuning those little guys.
He was talking about getting a Neo too, just to review and just to have.
Yeah. At $200, it's kind of tempting just for the autonomous bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like with my tablet, I could use my tablet and just for shits and giggles.
That's for one battery, by the way.
True.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. It only comes with one battery.
One battery. The Flymore kit brings up around $500.
Too bad I couldn't use my old mini batteries.
Of the alien blood.
Alien blood.
This little pathway cuts behind where they did the alien human hybrid trials. Asbestos. They harvested this from aliens
Between two firms, hey?
in order to
Yeah, big time.
do the trials on site without alien intervention. As you can see, this is actually diluted. This is actually diluted alien blood here. Just beyond this is graves.
I've never seen it be this goofy before. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really hard to see. It's through the bushes. There's one of them.
Mass graves.
Somebody's gonna watch this and believe it, and that's the problem.
Look at him.
He's gonna start something. Somebody out there like, I saw this documentary about this hospital.
Yeah. Documentary. Mockumentary. Oh man.
That's fun as hell. I gotta tell him I love it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you have the link there for his channel for anybody?
No, we don't share the links.
I'm sure it's stuck. I can find it. I'm sure it's Brandon Beans, right?
There it is, right there. Yep.
You're
Ooh, look at all those graves.
Look at all those graves.
those alien penis baby graves. Really cool place to fly, though.
And then what's the?
Hey Caleb, my free shipping wasn't going to Australia. Oh my god.
Oh.
Tons of these.
How much does it cost to get to mug to Australia?
I don't know.
Expensive. You're better off buying a mug and sending him a sticker for the mug.
I will send him a get one made in Australia.
Yeah, where do you print them?
I'm sorry, Caleb. We'll figure out something.
If it's reasonable, I'll go in halvesies on the shipping for the guy.
I'll find out how much it is. I do get free shipping in October on Tuesdays, and I didn't use today's.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It's the dumbest
Tuesday.
promotion that Canada Post ever has for businesses.
I didn't even know that, and I have a Canada Post card too as well. I just
free shipping on Tuesdays
in October.
That's pretty cool.
Why? Like what are they?
Almost.
Is this stimulating Canada Post business?
Yeah.
I invent things to ship, like mugs, not to Australia. It's to Canada or the US. I'm sorry.
That was a good video. It's fun.
You want to do a redrop for the mug? We'll do the Polymaker giveaway like planned. Sorry about that. We'll figure it out for him.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
Yeah,
Hashtag Polymaker for the last giveaway, the very final part of the show.
Okay, Caleb is being kind. Thank you, Caleb. Thank my bank account. Holy moly. But you can redraw for the mug if you wish. For Canada and US customers only.
I think Caleb, you can get it on this one because Polymaker, you're giving away. It's a redeem code, right? You can go to their website and So
yeah, it's a redeem code.
Doesn't matter where in the world you are. If
I don't have to ship it. Yeah, that's the best part about this one.
Polymaker probably has a drop shipper in Australia. It probably just comes straight from China, right? Where's Polymaker made?
Polymaker is made in the USA.
Polynesia.
Oh, is it?
Is it?
Polynesia.
All right.
I liked our filaments, man. They've been doing a good job. They're really easy to print. Not picky.
I didn't play all the videos tonight, so I'm sorry about everyone's videos that didn't get played. We had a lot of great conversation. I am going to play the very last video while we wait for everybody to come in, because it is part of the regular routine of the show is to have a drone light show at the end. And this one is by Fly High FPV. This is extremely 3D pilots at a big something RC field. What does it say? RC show.
What? I thought you said it was a drone. What? I thought you made like a drone light show. Oh, that's crazy. Nighttime. Oh, nighttime 3D planes. Oh, with LEDs.
Insane. Holy.
Oh. When I was a kid, that was like every back of every like model magazine, they had a picture of one of those, like the chipmunk or whatever, those 3D. I was like, oh, I want one. Oh, this is good advertising for Fly High too, right? Because he sells LEDs. So.
Yep, big time.
Mm-hmm. The guy's got everything lit up.
Here we go. This is where we're starting to start seeing the views.
Now, is this camera just like really dark, or is this what the people are actually seeing? Like, how do you?
So what the people are seeing?
I can't even tell what direction that plane is going. You know what I mean?
This is a drone now.
Yeah, we're in a drone following this now at night. Yep. Oh my God. How did they do this? I have enough troubles in
I think it's just
how'd they even get the permission to do this?
Just be there. I don't know.
Oh, this is amazing footage. Oh, let's go.
I fly right underneath them and they're hovering. That's amazing. Good for him.
It's got to be line of sight.
Yeah, right. I want him to go under the guy with the smoke again.
There you go. Now, the lines there, what are they?
I think that's like the border of the area.
The ground? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the runway, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say the airport.
It looks so
no, it looked like a runway before.
It does.
Look like a runway.
Yeah, probably a runway.
Probably a hobby runway. Probably a model aircraft runway. Like, I mean, they have to land too, right?
Looks like something out of a video game.
That's crazy. Like, it's so disorienting. Like, which way's up? I guess you probably use Verizon mode or something, eh? Like,
I don't know.
Are you showing my comment on purpose?
Yep. Everyone type hashtag Polymaker in the chat. Wow.
Like, those are hovering.
Can you
right?
imagine? Yeah, they're hovering. Can you imagine being the drone pilot that, like, you bump one and it bumps the next one and the next one, and like, so, you know, like $30,000 in RC planes is in a pile on the ground because of you?
Well, and unlike the usual drone light shows that you see, which are all computerized, these are probably, like, these don't look like they're computerized.
No, these are manual.
No,
all manual.
Yeah. Oh, manual.
Very cool. This is definitely
Let's see
something
Shelby
different.
Bull do this. Let's see Shelby Bull do some of this. Guess you can't hover a wing.
Wow.
That's our challenge to Shelby Bowl. Hover your wing.
It'd be insane. You can't hover a wing. It's impossible.
Well, I think you can hover these ones.
Well,
These are 3D planes.
I have flown a drone,
but
that-
not a single wing though.
You need a tail, I believe.
Yeah.
But I've
That's
flown
the
one
problem.
of those drones. I can't remember the name of it. That launches vertically.
Mm-hmm.
It's got two rotors.
VTOL?
VTOL.
Yeah, and then turns horizontal and it flies on the wing. So
Yeah.
it's
That
the
looks like
same
fun,
kind
yeah.
of approach.
Yeah.
Except I only see one propeller. Maybe there's two counter rotating. I'm not sure.
No, they got one. They're just one with the nitro engine. Standard RC plane.
But they
It'll
use
base
the
it, I think.
direction when they're facing up. So some wings they don't even have that. They just have the rudders. But this is cool. This is totally unique.
Can you imagine you put the motor on a gimbal and you could have like
Wow.
vector thrust?
Man, oh man. Very awesome fly high FPV.
If it flies, I love it.
No doubt.
Man.
No doubt. All right. Last giveaway. If you haven't got
Polymaker.
in, you might have gotten in too late. We're going to run it quick here because we're already over time by 11 minutes.
Is this going to be for the mug in North America?
No, this is for the Polymaker giveaway.
Your Polymaker stuff. Okay.
Don, do you have a 3D printer yet?
Stone FPV.
No, I don't need one. My son has one.
Ah, there you go. Oh, you could have won some filament for him.
Congratulations, Stone.
Congrats,
You
Stone.
won a roll of Polymaker filament. Congratulations. We'll give you
Direct
the code.
from Polynesia.
Yeah.
Polynesia.
Totally. We're going to draw one more time for Don's mug, USA and Canada only, with the same people. So let's give her a go. Good luck to the next person.
I won't spit in it before I send it.
Oh, how nice of you.
Dude, I think it's a sign, man. That guy needs a mug.
Mug bad.
If he gets it again, I just have to give it to him. Danzilla wins the mug.
Respin.
For Pete's sake.
I'm an employee.
I'm an employee. You don't get paid. I'm not paying you anything.
What?
What?
I mean, honestly, does the union know about that?
Yeah.
Assuming amino acid
Filing a grievance with the union.
North America. Send your shipping address to dondroneson@gmail.com.
Yeah, there
I
you
believe
go.
amino acid is a BC boy, right?
Yeah, he's over here in Maple Ridge, I believe.
All right. Looking forward to getting that address.
Maple Ridge. I wonder how many places in North America are called Maple Ridge, or how many streets in some little cul-de-sac neighborhood. Maple Ridge.
There are 3.
Wait, isn't there a place that sells bacon? Maple Ridge Farms.
Yeah,
in Ontario.
that's
There
out
is,
here.
right?
Out here too.
Bacon farm.
There you go.
There's always a farm somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was
And you
great to
see
have
them.
you
You
guys.
see the bacon like in the fields when the wind goes over it.
Ooh. Can you imagine trying to keep the animals out of that?
Oddly, on the way that day that I filmed all that leaf stuff, I passed a farm. The name of the farm, and I kid you not, was Dick Farms.
Dick
Farms.
Nice.
Farms.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And the fields they had already harvested, so it's hard to tell what they really harvested.
Could have been ballsy.
And sorry, these stories keep
The
coming back
field
to
was
me.
freshly shorn, was it?
Well, the family has been in the area long enough that there is a road named Dick Road, and apparently there was a municipal meeting where they actually wanted to change the name of the road because it was so expensive because the road signs kept getting stolen because it said Dick Road and like they were gone like overnight. So they're trying to change the name of the road, and the bylaw was failed in council.
Oh wow.
That's it. That's all the stories I have from that weekend.
There you go. It sounded like a good one.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate both of you coming in tonight. It's a really great stream. We had lots of discussion.
Yes, thank you.
First Squadron, do you have anything you want to shout out, or anything that's coming up that you want to share with us before you leave tonight?
No, I don't know. I mean,
get your
provide training and flight reviews, and getting into the filming school, the cinematic part of it. Right,
you were saying something about your video thing. I mean, I didn't want to get into another big tangent, but I know you were saying something about your video series that you're working on too. I don't think we talked about that much.
And it's like anything. It's about the system, in my opinion. Like the digital and virtual production now. Like Hollywood, and I don't know if anyone's noticed, but it's kind of dying. And then the $200 million movies just aren't practical, and everything's moving to the streamers. And I think that drones are going to be very, very important in the new film industry that's coming up, because like when you think about it, like you have to rent cranes and dollies, and when you're doing production, but a drone can do all those shots for you, like an orbit shot. Like it's going to change, and we're just at the very beginning.
We were talking about that last week. You see it everywhere now. Like nowadays, you watch TV, and like every mom and pop has a drone shot in their commercial now. Like Bob's Furniture has the drone. It's obviously a Mini or something flying through the warehouse. You know what I mean? Like 20 years ago, anything aerial like that was totally like too much money for anything. You know what I mean? Like aerial shots were reserved for big budget movies. Now every TV show, every commercial, everything has drone shots. Every documentary.
It's a mandatory almost now.
I mean, Don just did that tank shoot, and he had like 8 cameras coverage. I mean, that was crazy to think about that. Like, I mean, I finished film school in the 90s. Like, I didn't even dream I'd ever have a camera. Now anybody can have a complete production studio. Like
4K
a lot of the software is free.
Pocket.
Well,
you almost need to nowadays.
I filmed the Santa Claus parade in the local village every year. I always have 5 cameras going. Like I literally have a camera in each hand, as well as on the float, under the floats, and in the air.
Gnarly, wow!
Oh, you gotta get the forehead mount.
Mount.
Like if you get a pilot certificate, it doesn't mean like it's a flying camera, and you can fly it, but like the camera part of it. As Denzel probably knows, right? There's aperture, and there's a lot of stuff to learn. And then if you're going into digital production, which I think is logically the next step, like, and with that, like that volume screen, right? That kind of stuff. Like a drone, it maintains its coordinates, so you could coordinate that with the volume and do all your dollies and crane shots. Like I said, I think it's the future of filmmaking. I really do. And then that's why, I kind of want to be the first person that develops all the shots, right? Like, hey, look, like you can do this shot, and then do some productions that actually like really take the drones and do a lot of the footage just with the drones. I think that, hey, look at Falcon Red, right? I mean, like you look at some of his shots, you're like, that's got to be in a movie, it's just too good, right? It's just breathtaking stuff, right? And we're just at the beginning of this, so somebody's got to do it.
Got a lot to go for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Don, do you have anything you want to wrap up us up with?
Well, there's a new version of Drone Pilot Canada that's being produced, but it's actually a private production. Like I'm now receiving requests for custom features, and this one is for a large organization. And so we're doing a custom feature for it. In fact, I was just talking at one point in this show with my developer, answering a couple of questions. So
cool.
So that's the kind of stuff that we're getting into with Drone Pilot Canada. The Drone Pilot Association of Canada, we've been working on municipal bylaws. I haven't heard anybody use my recipe yet to change a bylaw, but I know that people are starting to work on it. Saskatoon, they went in there and made some changes. So that's awesome. It's happening. Yeah.
There you go.
Good. Awesome.
Perfect.
Thanks for everything you do.
Great. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you. Once again, we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Next Tuesday's community hangout. So everybody is welcome. So come on in, hang out. It's going to be the last community hangout we do. And coming December, we're going to be moving a little bit of a schedule to bi-weekly instead of weekly. That's right. That means only 2 shows a week. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a change. But
2 shows a week? 2 shows a week or 1 show every other week?
Every other week.
Which bi-weekly?
Every other week. Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said 2 shows a week, but bi-weekly is one of those confusing statements that could go both ways. Do you get when you get paid bi-weekly? Do you get paid every other week or twice a week?
Sorry for the confusion. So yeah, 2 shows a month. We'll do the schedule later on, but yeah, you guys will all be informed. We'll pick those 2 weeks and decide on exactly when. But yeah, lots of things going to be going on. So I appreciate everyone for being here. Like I said, we'll see you next Tuesday. It's going to be awesome.
Right. Sounds good.
Thanks again, guys.
Love you all, guys.
Bye.
Be good.
Thanks again, Marcel.